National Convention Organising Committee Chair Boichoko Ditlhake says the newly formed panel has accelerated outstanding tasks that are needed to ensure the smooth running of Friday's event. He was speaking earlier at UNISA, the venue that will now be hosting the forum for free after much deliberation about the high cost of the budget. Last Friday, several legacy foundations withdrew from the preparatory task team, citing, among other things, a shift towards more government control rather than a citizen-led process. I'm joined now by Reverant Zwoitwaho Nevhutalu, spokesperson for the National Convention and National Dialogue. A very good afternoon to you. Thank you very much for your time. The issue of the budget is what is the Thabo Mbeki and other foundations are putting forward as a key issue for them. Is it an issue for you?
No, not really, because the issues that they've raised are going to be addressed. They raised the issue of saying that now that they think that because the budget was released late, some resources were released late, the convention will no longer be citizens-led, and the budget in particular, they complained about adherence to PFMA. Now, the PTT, or the preparatory task team, which they were part of, actually agreed with government that the expenditure on any money, whether it comes from government or from the private sector or from any donation, will have to be accounted for and be aligned to all the PFMA prescripts. So NEDLEC was actually agreed upon as an SPV, Special Purpose Vehicle, NEDLEC Secretariat, to take responsibility for receiving that money and making sure that the expenditure is actually according to the law, according to the PFMA and any other applicable prescripts from Treasury. So that has been complied with. I think they did raise that as a flag, but I don't think that it's an issue now anymore.
In other words, you're saying that you have systems in place that will ensure that the monies are well looked after in terms of laws and rules and regulations.
Exactly. They're going to be well looked for, after, accounted for, and reported upon in terms of the PFMA, Public Finance Management Act.
Now, when the president announced the group of people who he said were going to back this initiative, I remember there was a lot of disquiet among the foundations because they felt that those people were now being elevated and given a status that perhaps they shouldn't be given in order to, in fact, drive the message home that this is about ordinary people and not some elite club that's going to be running with these things. Do they not have a point there?
No, not at all. Absolutely not at all. Because you will recall that in many respects, the PTT or the preparatory task team in which the foundations will participate could easily be categorized or termed as being elitist itself. And the eminent persons group were never meant to really oversee the process. They are ambassadors to make sure that the message goes out. But you needed to have an accountable, democratically set up, inclusive steering committee, which, according to the plan, can only emerge out of the participants of the first convention. And that is still the plan, that one of the outcomes of the convention will be that there will be a steering committee which is much more inclusive and representative of citizens along the sectors that has been agreed upon to participate. So that is why also it was felt by civil society, a lot of them, and many other foundations as well, by the way, because there are many other foundations who are continuing, that we need to move with speed to the first convention so that all these aspects can be handed over to citizens along the lines of the sectors that are going to be participating in the first convention.
Now, you don't think that perhaps this, the fact that there is, disagreements even before this project gets off the ground, in itself is perhaps a problem, in the sense that are we to agree on a common program and agenda going forward when we can't agree on simple things like whether we should, in fact, go ahead with this before resolving these problems that these foundations have raised?
In fact, the view of the civil society component that is continuing to participate is that these disagreements are amongst the elites and it's just delaying. They want to keep control of the process and not take it over to the citizens. So they would like it to go to the people. And clearly, the people are waiting to be able to have dialogues and reach an agreement on a vision of the South Africa they want. So a disagreement amongst the elites, and they are saying that really disagreements amongst the elites should not be taken as our disagreements. We want to get on. Just launch the thing. We want to get on, and the people would like to dialogue. We will be able. South Africans have been shown to have very clear outcomes, even in processes where there were other people who did not wish to participate. You remember the first CODESA discussions going to the elections. There were parties which opted out. Some of them came late. Others did not even come in, but there was an outcome of that particular process. So the disagreements are quite unfortunate at this stage, but they should not hold the country at ransom.
Reverend, let me thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.